You know, it's often said that there are only two certainties in this world: death and taxes. I'd add a third to the list: pressure. You know, pressure is a universal human experience. And like death and taxes, pressure kind of gets a bad rap, right? It's seen as this sort of inevitable but nasty byproduct of life. It's this burden that we kind of have to tolerate, that we have to bear. I want to talk today about why pressure isn't the problem. It's the solution. Now, this is a little bit deliberately provocative because, of course, pressure can create problems. And we're going to talk about some of the problems that pressure creates. But what I want you to take away from today is that counterintuitively, it's actually the energy under pressure that gives us the capacity to handle pressure. It's the energy under pressure that gives us the ability to rise to the challenges that create pressure. Pressure is the solution if we can channel it appropriately. So where does this stuff come from that we're going to talk about today? I have a bit of a unique vantage point on the topic of pressure because I run a little firm called Third Factor. And Third Factor is like this cross-pollination hub. We sit at the intersection of a bunch of different disciplines where there is pressure and the need to perform. But we actually got our start as an organization in the world of elite sport. We've worked with over 100 Olympic medalists stretching back 30 years, helping them prepare to deal with the pressure of international competition. We do a lot of work in academia, understanding the science of pressure and leadership. I teach at Queen's University here in Canada, as well as UNC in North Carolina. And then I spend most of my time working in organizations, large and small, public and private sector, where busy managers, leaders, and everyday employees have to manage the pressure that they're faced with. And I really see it as our job to try to figure out what can we all learn from each other. And I say this recognizing that your lives are not like the lives of Olympic athletes. Those are very specialized lives, rooted in one major goal, the date and time of which is known 4 years or even 8 years in advance. And yet, pressure is a fundamentally human experience. When we experience pressure as human beings, our heart rate increases, our respiration rate increases, our shoulders get tense, our pupils dilate. And you see, because pressure and our responses to pressure are fundamentally human, we can learn a lot when we study people who operate in high-pressure environments. In many ways, we can think about the things that we'll talk about today as kind of like the laws of physics. You know, yes, gravity looks very different on Mars than it does on Earth, but it's still gravity. It's still the same fundamental force. And the same is true of pressure and performance.